It's okay, Luna. It's okay.
She went to the mic. Voice your opinion.
It's okay. It's okay.
Good girl. Sitting on top of Bella.
Down.
Good girl. Yes.
Yeah, get
good.
comfy.
Ow.
Yeah, bite Bella. Yeah, good girl.
Right into the mic. Luna. Good job.
That's gotta be this.
Say that's gotta be the intro. I don't know. This article at one point says, at its peak, the bread factory produced 5,000 loaves per day. And then later it says, at Wonder Bread's peak, the facility turned out no fewer than several thousands loaves per minute.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one because it sounds way more impressive.
Well, maybe they only worked for 5 minutes a day.
Maybe.
You're onto something.
Yeah, 5,000 bread a day doesn't sound like a lot.
Well, I guess it was open for 100 years. I wonder if like in the early, like 5,000 bread was a lot. And then now that's chump change. It's probably more local way back then.
Well, ask Jeanette. Do they sell Wonder Bread in Portland?
It was the clown one? Yeah. No.
I think they sell it everywhere.
Or is that Schweebels? Which one's the clown one?
That's Schweebels.
Oh, fuck.
But Wonder Bread has the colorful polka dots, so
Yes.
it gives clown vibes also.
Yeah, they're in cahoots.
Yeah. Bread is just clowny.
They taste different.
Yeah, I think Grandma uses Schweebels now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Fuck.
The clown is Schweebels. My mom would get that brand.
My mom too, until we started getting whole wheat.
I like whole wheat. I get the harvest one. Isn't that the one?
Is
Yeah.
it like the yellow and brown and it, like with that image is like a mom and a daughter or something like that? Or maybe not. Oh, Harvest has like the I
It's
know.
like the Sweet Harvest or something.
Yeah. That one's newer. The other one I'm thinking of, I forget what it's called, but
I'm usually buying generic brand, actually.
the store brand.
Mhm.
You get more points at Giant Eagle when you do that.
Sam just bought her bread from Goodwill this week.
No.
Whoa.
Okay, this is what happened. I went to Dollar Tree and Goodwill, and I was trying to tell Oscar how I bought a loaf of bread from Dollar Tree, but it was a Freudian slip, and I accidentally said I just bought a loaf of wheat bread from Goodwill.
Yo, whoa.
I was like, that's crazy.
Was it vintage?
I was like, no, I meant Dollar Tree, which is still crazy, but not as crazy as
Yeah.
Goodwill.
If it was at Goodwill, would it have been like opened and partly eaten?
The first bread has a bite mark.
Oh, God, no.
This is 8-day-old bread.
So, yeah, from Dollar Tree, and it was fine. I just wanted it to make an egg sandwich.
All right, I guess I'll freestyle it. There's a lot to say.
Whenever you want to begin.
Welcome back to Eating Good, the podcast where we try different food establishments in the Columbus area. I'm Oscar.
I'm Sam.
I'm David.
And this week, Marisol is out again, but we have Isabella on with us.
Hello.
Hello. This week's choice for choosing where we got to eat is David. So go ahead.
This week, I chose to take us to City Tavern, which is a spacious, laid-back pub serving craft beer and burgers in a refurbished industrial setting. It's right on 4th Street. If you've ever driven down 4th Street, you know, you can't miss it. There's a big old Wonder Bread sign, and that's because, as I mentioned, in a refurbished industrial setting, this used to be the Wonder Bread factory. So I pulled up a little bit of history on this space and how it kind of came to be not only a restaurant, but also a living space. So way back when, in 1916, the Wonder Bread factory came to be built. In 1920, it became known as the Columbus Bread Company. And just 3 years after that, it became the Holland Bread Company. And then in 1929, it became the Ward Brothers Company. And finally in 34 is when Wonder Bakeries got the keys and turned it into the Wonder Bread Factory. So throughout its history, it was known for churning out thousands of breads per minute and shipping them to the local area and in other regions throughout the United States. But back in 2009, they ceased production and handed the keys over to Likens Company, some I guess a realty company.
Real estate.
Real estate. And they decided to first wanted to make a little arts thing called Wonderland. Man, I wish they did that. But instead they turned them into luxury living because there's not enough luxury living spaces in Columbus. And part of that is that they also have the little City Tavern within it. So I chose this place because I, like I said, have always driven past the Wonder Bread Factory. Grew up with, seeing that logo at the grocery store, sometimes at home, sometimes at grandma's house. And I was like, you know what? I want to try out that little pub. I was in there before picking up an order, and it smelled pretty damn good in there. And the vibes just seemed right. It's like a nice little sports bar. They have TVs all over and many windows. So lots of natural lighting. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the gang over there. And I've been craving wings very heavily recently. So I figured this would be the spot to try out. And should we talk about the food?
Yep.
We got an appetizer, right?
Yeah, David and I got the app sampler. It came with mozzarella and marinara, Bavarian pretzels with cheese, chicken fingers, and tater tots. So it was a nice sample of their different appetizers. I did like the pretzels a lot. Everything else was okay.
Yeah, definitely the pretzels was what I wanted to try. I love pretzels and beer cheese. And these were, I feel like, a pretty good size. They were kind of cut in like half. Great for sharing. The cheese I thought was pretty tasty, but it definitely coagulated very quickly. So
crusted up.
It has to be the priority number one if you get the app sampler. As for the mozzarella sticks, I really like the mozzarella sticks actually. More than Mr. Hero, surprise, surprise. The cheese pull was way better.
Mm-hmm.
The marinara was like pretty good, but I think it was like a very strong crust. And then the cheese inside was like nice and it wasn't super, super melty, but it still had a little give, kind of like that mozzarella stick. I liked it. I would say that was definitely the second best thing on the thing. Chicken tenders were all right. And tater tots, standard. You know, can't miss. Yeah. I was very content.
Yeah, I agree with the tater tots. Very standard. The chicken tenders, I just felt had too much fried part. It could have used a little more meat.
Yeah, I think they were like smaller chicken tenders and they were all like, so it just gave
too much
more
breading.
Gave too much room for the breading. Not enough for the meat to balance it out.
I agree. The mozzarella sticks were better than Mr. Heroes, but they were still just mozzarella sticks. Mm-hmm. I don't know. They're not my favorite.
I feel you.
What would you rank
the platter? As a whole,
maybe a 6.5.
I'll give it a 7.5. I think the pretzels and the mozzarella sticks really stuck out for me. So if I were to go there with a group, I would just focus on those. But the tater tots were great in the meantime while we were waiting for our food to kind of just try more of that cheese and some of that marinara. Chicken tenders I could have done without.
I just felt it was too much fried food. The pretzels are really what held up the sampler. And at that point, I might as well just order the pretzel on its own.
100%, yeah. Seems like a better bang for your buck and focus on the pretzels.
I feel like this sampler is made for a kid or something.
Yeah, I would say, or like first timers. I mean, like us. We're like, oh, we don't know what's like good here. It's probably good for trying.
I feel like it'd be good for picky eaters.
Yeah.
You'll find something that you want.
Because it's tater tots, chicken tenders, and mozz sticks.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, from looking at the appetizer list, there's definitely other appetizers that I was more interested in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, I don't care for the sampler.
I agree with that, even though I got it.
Well, Bella and I decided to split a small order of wings instead for our appetizer. So we got the buffalo wings. What did you think, Bella?
Just pretty standard wings, but they were good. I liked them.
I agree. They were standard. The buffalo sauce was good. It was spicier than, I would say, your average buffalo sauce. So if you like that little kick, they were pretty good. I will say, I think I like Applebee's wings better.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Damn.
You agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dang, that's
It's because
crazy.
they had more sauce on the ones in Applebee's.
I was going to say, they were sauced, but they weren't wet, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They weren't that perfect balance that we found at Applebee's for some reason that last week.
Yeah. Plus, well, these were bone-in wings, so Applebee's are boneless, but they were like kind of tough on some parts almost, or just like not super meaty. So with Applebee's, it was less of a struggle to eat them. You just pop them in.
Right. Yeah, like the smaller wings, obviously probably cooked faster, and so
Yeah.
but the more like thicker, the flats,
Mm-hmm.
I think they were a nice little balance.
Yeah, definitely like the drums had some tougher parts on them.
Yeah.
So given the choice between these wings or Applebee's, I'm going to pick Applebee's. I'm going to give these 6 out of 10.
I think maybe a 7. I don't know.
Yeah, they were good, and the ranch that came with were good.
Mm-hmm.
David also got wings.
Yes. So like I said, I was in the mood for wings. I guess I should mention another reason I chose this spot was because I was looking up best wing spots in Columbus, and this page, the Columbus Navigator, mentioned it. And so I was like, you know what? The way they described it, they're like your standard fried wings. They looked good in the photos. I'm going to go for them. Normally, I'm a Buffalo guy. Thankfully, Sam did trade a wing with me, so I got to try the Buffalo. I will say I think I liked it more than what I got, which was I got their original city sauce, which was described to me as like a mix of a buffalo and a barbecue sauce. For any B-dubs fans out there, it's kind of like the Sauce Gardner sauce, which is partly barbecue, partly buffalo. I enjoyed it. I liked it more than I thought I would. But like I think I've said before, I'm not the biggest barbecue flavor guy, at least in a sauce. And there was definitely that sweetness that was like very consistent with each bite. So if I had the choice, I would definitely go for the buffalo next time. Or as Bella will talk, I think it was called like the fire breath sauce or something.
Firebird.
She had a little dipping cup and I got to dip my fries. It was so good. So that was one of the wing options. Maybe I try that because I feel like on a wing, that will go crazy.
Mm.
But for the style of wings and for the 2 wings that I tried, yeah, pretty standard, but I think that's what I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to give it a nice 8. I would probably go back just for the price. Wasn't too bad either for a 10 set of wings. I was happy.
Do you want to talk about your Firebird sandwich?
Sure. So I got the Firebird sandwich, which is chicken breast sauteed in sambal, sriracha lime sauce topped with cheddar, bacon, and pickle. I think it was really good, but it was really messy, and I got all over my hands and stuff.
It was on your forehead too.
I'm
I'm
You're
joking.
like Patrick Star when he's eating ice cream and he's like, I got it in my eyebrows.
The sauce was good. The Firebird sauce, it was really good. It was on my burger, so I didn't really use the dipping sauce that much. But yeah. But the bacon and the chicken were really big. Like the bacon was sticking out of the sides of the sandwich, and I had to cut a piece and like put the other one on the side because I didn't want it. I think I would give it an 8 out of 10.
That sauce with it had like the little pepper seeds on them. Big old sandwiches too, I feel like.
I was debating about getting that chicken sandwich, and the only reason I didn't is because I saw that it said sriracha, and I'm not a big sriracha fan. So I was like, I'll get something else. I ended up going with the pesto chicken sandwich. It came with a grilled chicken breast with pesto, avocado, roasted tomatoes, mozzarella cheese on a grilled sourdough bread. It was not my favorite. I should have paid attention to the menu. I just saw the picture of their fried chicken sandwich.
Right.
And so I was, oh yeah, chicken sandwich. That's what I want. But it's a grilled chicken. And the pesto and avocado and even the tomato were very good on the sandwich. The mozzarella, it was way too much. It was kind of too much for me personally. If you like a cheesy sandwich, it would have been great, but it was too much. I think my problem with the whole sandwich, it was just the grilled chicken. It just was very plain grilled chicken, and it was getting all its flavor from everything else.
Right.
So I had some parts of the chicken sticking out of the sandwich, and when I ate that, I had to like fight with it and pull it a little to rip it, and then it just had no flavor.
I was gonna say, I was a little surprised when you ordered that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Oscar's feeling healthy today.
I also pictured a fried sandwich with pesto on it.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy good.
I definitely
did
knew
not
it
read
was going to be grilled chicken. That sounds like I like pesto and like a healthy sandwich like that. So
Yeah.
I debated getting it. I ended up going with the much less healthy option, which we'll talk about in a bit. But yeah, I was so surprised when you picked it.
Well, when I read the pesto, I like pesto. I thought that'd be good. And then I saw that it also had avocado, and was like, I really like avocado. If they put on enough pesto and avocado, it'll just hold the sandwich together. I will say it was a nice size grilled chicken, so I'm definitely full, but it just didn't mix with the pesto and avocado. Like they just didn't mesh well.
They didn't mesh well, or the pesto and avocado wasn't enough to over
I guess that's a way to say it.
Beat the chicken, the plainness of the chicken.
Yeah. When I was eating it, I could definitely tell this is a flavorful pesto and avocado, and then this is just plain chicken. And by the time I was done with half, I didn't even want to eat the other half.
Dang, that's rough. It's like instead of being a whole team effort, they were all like individual ingredients.
Yeah. I give it a 5 out of 10. Someone else might enjoy it if they're feeling healthy, but I wouldn't go back to order it.
Well, I can talk about my meal. So I got the Tri-City French dip sandwich, which includes slow roasted tri-tip that is thinly shaved, topped with white American cheese on a French baguette, served with au jus. And I have never had a French dip sandwich, so when I saw this on the menu, I instantly was like, I'm getting that. I've heard mostly from David that French dip sandwiches are really good. So I was like, oh, perfect time to try it. I don't really like ever see it on menus. Like, I don't think it's a super common sandwich. So I got that and I was very, very pleased. It was so flavorful. The meat itself was flavorful, but then when you dip it into the au jus, it just enhances it so much. The cheese wasn't too much. Like, it was just like a perfect mix of everything. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Ooh. Nice.
I would definitely get that again. I would definitely be willing to try it at other restaurants. Talking about you, Arby's. We'll see. But yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised. And it kind of reminded me of like a Philly cheesesteak, but it's elevated because of that au jus.
Of course, it's French.
The au jus is the sauce, right?
Yeah, it's like
it's almost like it's not a gravy, but it's kind of like a gravy.
It's like
it's
a gravy
meat
before reducing it or whatever or something.
Because it's not like a thick gravy.
Yeah,
it's juicy.
Yeah, it's very liquidy.
Yeah, it's also what they do with like prime rib sandwiches. It's like another big au jus thing.
Yeah, so very good. For my side, which nobody's talked about sides yet, we can get into that. We saw there was a pasta salad on the menu, and I was like, guys, we should get this pasta salad just to see if it's any good, because we talked about how pasta salads are always terrible. And this one was right on par. First of all, the pasta salad, it was like, what was in it? It was like mayonnaise and sour cream, maybe?
Creamy as heck. I don't know how to describe it, but it was, yeah.
It was some sort of noodle and some sort of cream, but then it was topped with like 10 black olives.
Yeah. And there was like red onion, I think, maybe in there.
Yeah.
A couple other little things.
Red onion, and was there celery in there, maybe?
Yeah, that's probably what it was. It was like either celery or cucumber. But it had like a green crunchy thing.
Yeah. And I mean, I didn't eat any of the olives. I don't like olives, but I just tried the like normal noodle, and it didn't really taste like much. Like, I was like, oh, maybe it will be good, because I typically like a creamy, like when my mom makes a creamy pasta salad, I like it. It's like, maybe it'll be kind of good, but it didn't really taste like anything. And then just the fact that it had olives was a little off-putting. So I'm giving that a 3 out of 10.
Ooh.
I didn't think it was bad. I probably wouldn't go there and get the pasta salad. I'd give it the 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I would agree with that sentiment, where I would never at a restaurant order it. I think the only time I'm really gonna ever eat pasta salad is at like a cookout, or what's the thing you do at work? Potluck. I'm never gonna go out of my way to make and or order it.
Right.
But if it's available, I'll give it a shot. This one, I will say, since it was offered, I enjoyed it. The black olives I will say they were a bit much, just because of how many they were. It looked so crazy. They were full black olives, not even like the sliced ones you get on pepperoni or pizzas. But being an olive enjoyer, I thought it helped add a little more like saltiness to the bite. So I think it gave it a little bit more flavor in my eyes. I'll give it a 6 out of 10.
I would have liked it more if it had no black olives at all.
Obviously.
We'd probably switch scores if there was no black olives.
Yeah, if no black olives, 6 out of 10.
Are all pasta salads that like twisty type of noodle?
I think a lot of times they are.
Okay. I enjoyed that. It was like the twisty noodle, but it was also like the hollow. It was like, I don't know the name, but got the job done.
And then, you guys, pretty much all three of you ordered the fries.
They were, I feel like, standard bar fries.
Thicker cut,
A little extra fried.
Mhm.
like skin on. They were like a nice deep brown color for the most part, and they were nicely seasoned. I
Yeah.
would say. They were like the type of fries where they were crunchy. A good amount of them were crunchy on the outside, but very potato-y,
Mhm.
like soft and potato-y on the inside. They're not like my go-to fries. Obviously, I'm a waffle man, but they got the job done.
Yeah.
Kind of what I expected. I'll give it like a 7.
I'd give them a 7.5.
I'll give them a 7.
I'd go with the 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think they were seasoned really well, which really like made it, I don't know, better. When I looked at them, they didn't look like they were going to be that good. And then when I tasted them, I was like, oh, they're way better than I thought.
Yeah. They were a good complement to the meal. They didn't go above and beyond or anything like that.
Yeah, I would say overall, City Tavern exceeded my expectations.
Yay.
So that's good. It made me think of, because it's similar style food to Ohio Brewing Company, which we went to last year. And I definitely think City Tavern's food is better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was worried that the weight of like the wings was going to hold, because I did think of that too when I took us there. I was like, it does give us the same kind of food vibe as Ohio Brewing Company.
Mm-hmm.
And the drinks are cheap.
Yes, they had a really good drink. They have, I guess, daily specials,
Yeah.
but they're standard. They have like a $3 beer special menu,
yeah, their pricing was really good.
and it wasn't just like Busch Light and like a couple options. It was like 10 good options of different varieties, like stouts, IPAs.
Yeah, they had a good variety. It wasn't just the standard domestic.
I was worried that maybe like I was scared the food wasn't gonna be that great, and I'd be like, oh man, like it'd be like, oh, why did I pick this? But I do like knowing that the food is good, the drinks are good. It's like a sports bar. If I ever decide to get into sports all like that, Columbus sports, maybe I'll catch a Columbus Crew game there once or twice in the upcoming year. But I do know I'd want to go back to try the French dip.
Mm-hmm.
They had a Reuben on there that sounded good too, and I need to try the wings with the Firebird sauce. So
Mm-hmm.
you might catch me at the City Tavern down the line.
I mean, I wasn't too worried. I've had their burgers before, and their burgers are delicious.
Very generous portion of the burger. Like looking at Bella's, well, that was a chicken sandwich, but I'm guessing it's probably around the same size. Seems like they will fill you up.
The last thing that we can't forget is we got a dessert. We got the grilled PB&J, which was the peanut butter and strawberry jam sandwich served on grilled Wonder Bread with vanilla ice cream and warm peanut butter drizzle. I was excited about this dessert. I love a good PB&J, and the fact that it was going to be warm, I was like, ooh, it's going to be so good. And it indeed was very good. And I like that it had ice cream. I didn't know it was going to have ice cream when we like first ordered it. So that was a pleasant surprise. Next time, I'm just going to get that for myself. I don't want to share.
Yeah, it was really good. And the portion was not a portion that you would share. Yeah, they cut it in half, so maybe with one other person. But even then, great dessert, great for one person. And yeah, the warm peanut butter and jelly just worked with the ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, your standard Wonder Bread size bread. Had to do it because we were in the Wonder Bread factory and wanted a little bite of nostalgia. Although I will say I don't think I've ever had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with ice cream. That was a great combo.
Yeah,
so like the warmth of the grilled sandwich with the ice cream and the peanut butter drizzle, I thought worked really well, and I'm glad it was the last bite we had. Oh yeah, of course I could destroy one of these by myself, but I'm glad that we had to share because I had just enough to not feel like after a big meal, like I hated myself.
I feel like we should have gotten 2 of them. They were really good.
That's what
honestly, maybe
when we were ordering, I was like, should we get 2? I was like, no, we'll just get 1. But yeah, we could have gotten 4 of them.
Right.
I would have eaten the whole thing.
We back there.
I would go back
like,
just for that.
After the pod, we're like, all right, you're gonna get some more PB&Js.
Yeah. I would say the only aspect that I didn't like, and I don't know if this could be fixed or not, is it because it's like a grilled PB&J. I'm assuming they grilled it with butter. Maybe they used salted butter because it almost was a little salty. So it kind of like was like a grilled cheese vibe for a second. And I was like, oh, I don't want that. So maybe just put less butter or more peanut butter and jam on the inside.
Yes, I think it definitely...
to offset the bread.
For what the ingredients are, I think a thicker slab of peanut butter and a heavier hand with the jelly would be great. Maybe we'll have to order it special style next time.
Right. BTE.
BTE. Extra peanut butter, please.
We could just make it ourselves.
That's true too.
That's true, but it's not.
We're
the
not gonna be
same.
in the Wonder Bread factory, Oscar. Think about it.
I don't know what brand peanut butter and jam they're using. What'd you say?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they sell Wonder Bread at the grocery store.
But we're not at the factory.
Yeah.
The powdered sugar, I think, also added a little.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, I cut the bread and I let Bella pick, and of course she picked the piece that had all the powdered sugar on it.
I just picked the random piece.
She's like, yeah, random.
But it was, all of it I think worked together really well for a very simple dessert. I think it really.
They knocked it out of the park.
Yes, exactly. That factory knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Numbers wise,
I'm gonna go 8.6.
I'll give it an 8.
I go 9 out of 10.
Maybe an 8.5.
I'm gonna be back for sure just for
For
that
that bread.
PB&J.
Can I just get 2 PB&J sandwiches
Yeah.
and bring the check?
Had a beer on there. I'm gonna wash it down with a beer.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, that was my only thing. Is like the only thing missing was a little glass of oat milk.
Yeah, I was like,
me?
a cup of milk would have been good. But I mean, that's also what the ice cream was
Yeah,
for.
exactly. It gave you that. I'm happy that we all found something that we enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Yeah, next time I'm just sticking with the burgers.
Oscar was like, I ventured off the path, learned my lesson. I'm back to the burgers.
I mean, just read that it says grilled chicken next time.
No, but even then, I felt that the pesto and avocado would, pull the sandwich. But no.
Too big of a job for the greens.
Alrighty, let's move on. Bella, do you have something for us or no?
I have something, yes.
Okay,
It's
good.
like, I have something. It's not
But-
good.
What
I
is
feel
the
like you'll
thing that
guess
she
it.
has? For what segment?
It's time for
Guess That Movie.
And since Marisol's not here, we're making Bella do it again. We did only give her like 30 minutes notice.
I feel like you guys will guess it pretty easily. I don't think it's that hard.
Let's get into it.
Okay. All his life, the main character has been told he will never achieve his dreams because he doesn't have the skills to become successful. He goes to college and quickly becomes rivals with another student. One day, their rivalry gets out of control, and now they must work together in order to not get expelled.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
Yeah, I think I know too.
Did they go to college?
Sam's
Yeah.
dumb. She doesn't know. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I almost texted it to Sam. That would have been so bad. I went to hit Bella.
I don't think I know what it is.
Oscar got it right.
Damn it. Only because I type slow.
Wait, they go to college?
Yes.
Have I seen this movie, do you think?
Yeah, I think you've seen it.
I feel like you would have. I've seen it a lot.
Can you read it again?
All his life, the main character has been told he will never achieve his dreams because he doesn't have the skills to become successful. He goes to college and quickly becomes rivals with another student. One day, their rivalry gets out of control, and now they must work together in order to not get expelled.
David.
You okay?
I might have texted the wrong Bella. I definitely texted the wrong Bella.
I don't have a message.
Who did you text?
I don't know who the hell Bella is, but we're going to find out. She's.
They're like, I went on a date with you one time 2 years ago. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh. Well,
They think you're asking them out to see a movie.
And it's so funny because, am I right?
Yeah.
Oh, when she reads the text, she can be like, "What the heck?"
Oh my gosh.
It's out of context, like you wouldn't send that randomly to anyone.
No.
Is it? I need a hint.
It's a sequel to a movie. But it happens before the first movie
A
takes
prequel.
place. A sequel prequel.
A sequel prequel. I don't know if I've seen this.
You've definitely seen the original.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have seen the trailers or heard about it. And even from that, you would know it.
And I'm guessing it's not animated.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, it is animated?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I think I know what
You
it
can
is.
say it out loud. We already got
Is it Monsters University?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like a sequel prequel. I was thinking like The Parent Trap, but they don't go to college. They go to camp.
Mm.
As soon as I heard college, I'm like, what movie do I know in college? Monster University.
Well, that's what made me think it wasn't going to be animated because it's like, oh, all college movies are like actual kids, like actual real life humans. But that was a good one.
Yeah, my first thought was 21 Jump Street, but
Right.
that's high school. Is it 22 Jump Street when they go to college?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I guess it would fit the sequel, but not the prequel part.
I was like, getting expelled. I guess you could make it work. I don't know how. I haven't seen that movie in a minute, but.
So you just texted this random Bella the word Monsters University.
Well, I just put Monster University. It's just Bella.
There's no
last name. And I thought that's how I'd saved Bella, but I saved it as Bella last name, and I was like,
do you have any previous messages with them?
nope.
Maybe it's Bella's iPad.
Maybe.
The area code does not seem to indicate.
Oh, it's actual.
It's like way none of the zip codes that are back home.
It's like some random person from a class.
from Spain.
It's probably someone from like a camp or something, so it's just like random as heck. We'll see. I'm not gonna say sorry wrong, but I'm just gonna
leave it. Just leave it.
Yeah, the Monster University. What the heck?
They're a junior out in their college, and like my counselor just texted me.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. I'm like, that's probably what it is to do. Like, what the heck? What does Monster University mean? I'm gonna have to just lie and be like,
They're gonna know it's a movie.
well, that's my favorite. Oh, my friend was asking. My other friend Bella was asking me about what's my favorite movie.
That was good, Bella. See?
You could do it.
Came up with it really quickly. I was gonna do Monsters Inc., but I feel like I didn't want to do that one.
Yeah, I kind of like obscured it enough where it was.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering how far you were gonna go with the description. Like, I didn't know if you were gonna talk about the competition.
No, I'll just do a basic one.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. I don't know if we have any topics, but I know there's one specific thing. We got to talk about David's new steak.
Oh, I hope you guessed right on this last poll that we did a little while back. But I did cook a new steak. Let me start from the beginning.
Oh, gosh.
I'm happy to report that the whole process was beautiful. So I do my shopping at the Giant Eagle Market District branch of grocery stores. And they have an app that gives you coupons, personalized stuff like that. And it was coming to the end of February. So some coupons were expiring. And I was like, oh, snap. I got 2 coupons for boneless New York strip steaks. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get them because if I don't get them, this money goes to waste.
It doesn't go to waste. It's not like you would have lost money if you didn't buy them.
You just didn't spend it.
Yeah,
But
you
if-
just didn't spend it.
But if I use them, they paid me that money to buy these steaks. And you're going to see in a second why it's that is.
They just didn't charge you.
They just didn't charge you as much.
Anyways, I go to the thing and I don't see them with that description. So there's a guy loading meats, just slinging meat everywhere. And I go up to him like, excuse me, sir, can you help me find these steaks? And he's like, oh, we don't have any, but I can cut you some. I was like, oh, great, thanks. So he finishes unloading. I walk over to the counter and I'm kind of like not paying attention, but I see him grab these steaks and I was like, oh, let me take a photo of like these steaks just so I know, which ones they are if I end up making them good. So he grabs them, starts cutting them, but then I look over and I'm looking at the coupon and it's like New York strip steaks. I looked at the ones that he grabbed and he grabbed the prime ones.
Ooh.
Which are like nicer, but they were like $10 more per pound. I was like, oh, I hope these are the ones for the coupon. Like, obviously, I like still get them because they look good. Because then I went over to the other one and took a photo of those. And I was like, no, he definitely grabbed them from over there. Cut them, but he put the label of the other ones. And not only that, they were on sale that week. So the dude hooked me up. Shout out, I didn't get his name, but shout out to my boy. Like, he hooked it up. So it was about $45 worth of steaks, and with coupons and the weekly savings, I paid $9 for the 4 steaks.
What? You paid $9
$9
for 4 steaks?
I'm telling you, they paid me to buy those steaks because it was 2. I think they made a mistake in the app. It was a coupon $7.50 off of a value pack of those steaks.
Okay.
And then they gave me another $7.50 off, but they worded it different. So I was like, they're probably only going to count one. But I was like, since it's the last day, let me at least try. They counted both. I got $15 off, and they were like 23 something.
God damn.
So yeah, it was like I paid like $2 a steak pretty much, and they're like prime, and they was so good when I made them.
That's crazy. Do you think this guy meant to hook you up, or it was a mistake? Like, does he even realize that he did that?
No, I think he did. But I think he noticed that I didn't realize because I was kind of like nonchalant about it because I was also like, as he was cutting it, I was looking, I was like, wait, I'm pretty sure he grabbed these nice steaks. And when I went back home, they looked pretty nicely marbled. I will say, Luna, you fool. I will say, I think he was a brown hermano. So I think it was just solidarity for la raza.
Okay.
He
He's
hooked
like,
me up.
this guy's mind is gonna be blown when he makes these steaks. Like, damn.
And I know he said he better not burn these boys.
No.
And I'm sad to report that. No, I thought I was going to mess them up so bad. But I cooked them to a nice, I would say like medium. And I did follow what you said because you said that you cooked the thicker. They were thicker. So they were like twice as thick. Gave me way more leeway.
Right.
And I cooked them on like setting 6 for 3 minutes. I think I did 3 minutes on one side and then 2.5 just to be safe. Worked perfect. I might even go 2.5 both sides next time.
Yeah. So even those looked a little bit thinner than the ones I normally cook on 3 minutes a side.
Right. And so I'm like, I almost thought about, I don't know. I wasn't going to mess with his mojo. He was already hooked. And I didn't notice until he was out of the view cutting them. So I was like, I think my dude hooked me. Because I was waiting for him to go to the counter. And the other guy behind the counter was like, what can I get you? I was like, oh, I think my guys got me over there. And he's like, I'm not good enough for you. Like, trying to be funny. And
he actually said that?
Yeah. And like, it threw me off a little bit. And I was like, I don't think I even said anything. I just like, kind of like, and then my boy hooked me up. So I don't think the other guy he would have just gave me what I asked for. So all in all, great experience. Like I said, great experience, store to table. I'm glad I didn't char them up. And I have 3 more steaks to find that beautiful medium rare.
Nice.
I might even go 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half, and get it rare.
Oh, a minute and a half is crazy.
And you're like, I'm gonna go 10 seconds per side.
He said carpaccio.
How do I like my steaks?
Mooing.
Rare, medium, rare. I want mine exclusive. But yeah, that was a highlight of my week. Honestly, like, I was having a pretty bad day that day too. Like work wise, I was like, all right, this boy hooked it up.
Yeah, that would definitely make my day so much better.
And I had a couple other coupons because, like I said, at the end of the week, so I had a couple other little things that I picked up, and that whole tab dropped. It was like $60, and I ended up paying like 30, 39, 35, something like that. So made my whole day. I was so happy.
Nice.
Now I have a big old thing, not a big old thing, but a standard thing of feta cheese that I don't know what to do with. So if anyone has any recommendations, let me know.
Not the feta cheese.
Ooh, maybe I'll sprinkle that over the cooked steak. Let it melt a little bit. I wish I had
cheese grater?
Flamethrower.
Oh. I said cheese grater, you said flamethrower.
I've seen some reels where they have the little, the torch. That's what they call it. Kitchen, food grade torch.
Yes.
Melt the cheese on there. I'm going to see if Johnny Go has a coupon for that.
Well, as a part of the saga of David's steaks, I've been posting a couple of videos on Instagram that say who cooked the steak. So I posted one on February 26th. I said, who made this steak? It's a nicely seasoned steak. And this is on the Instagram, by the way. And then the polls has the option David, Sam, Oscar, or Marisol. We had 8 people vote. 7 people got it correct, and they said, Sam, I did make that steak. And then 1 person got it wrong and thought Oscar made the steak.
Ooh.
Nobody had confidence that you made that steak, David.
Definitely not. Dude, I don't blame them.
It was definitely like a medium rare, medium.
It looked so well cooked.
And then I posted a second one on March 1st. Who made this steak? There was 6 votes. This is the one David made. So there was only 2 people that got it correct. 1 person guessed Sam, 1 person guessed Marisol, and then 2 people guessed Oscar.
Ooh.
Oscar, the meat eater. Everyone thinks you're cooking these steaks.
Yeah. I gotta make a steak soon.
Yeah, next time you got to post one, and then we'll see if people actually get it right.
I'm just worried
What if
that
you overcook it and then you got to show it off?
Dude, I was so because I sent Sam the photo of like the Valley Pack steaks. She said, now you have to send something. I was like, fuck.
Yeah, I was like, you have to send me however it comes out so I can put it on there. If it comes out a hockey puck, I'm still putting it on there.
No, I'm worried that I'm gonna get a more expensive cut up steak, and it's gonna be obvious that it's my steak.
Why would that make it obvious?
He said, I'm bougie.
Yeah. No,
I don't think that would make it obvious.
I gotta get a similar cut steak.
He makes a, what are they, the tomahawk steak?
Oh.
Doesn't even fit in the pan.
I will say, every time I go to the Italian market, I look at those tomahawk steaks, and then I look at the price, and I'm like, not today.
How much do they run over there?
Dude, it's like $50 for one.
Like, right. Yeah,
no matter where you go, the cheapest you'll probably find a tomahawk steak is like $45.
Right, and it's just how big they are too, because they're probably like at least $30 a pound. No, like 35, 40 probably.
I think it's weird that you think a higher end steak would indicate that you cooked it, because you're the one over here buying like pork deals, like 1 million pounds of pork because it's on sale.
I really only buy my steak from one place, and every time I do, it's like I'm a kid at a candy store. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll pay double the price of the steak I want to get and get that nicer steak.
The nice one.
I guess, but I would also buy a nicer steak because I'm like, well, I want a good quality steak. I don't care how much it costs. Right. But I bought myself $40 of sushi yesterday and I ate all of it.
Ooh, they look so good though. Nah, my ass is buying I'm saying I think also part of the reason I got the leeway was not only because it was thicker, but it was like a nicer cut of meat. I think the first time they were giving me like beef ass cheeks or something. I don't know what I was cooking.
Like Giant Eagle and Kroger, the only steak I really buy is ground beef and like the big chuck roast.
Right.
But yeah, I guess people wouldn't know what kind of steaks I buy.
You about to pull up with a whole, like at the Brazilian steakhouses. He's like, who cut this steak? It's going to be the big old skinny roast thing. Bella's going to do one. It's going to be like a minute steak. A kid's cuisine
a microwave steak.
Me a Slim Jim.
She's cooking a Slim Jim. Medium processed.
Well, when David mentioned that the second butcher came up to him and asked him if he was covered, it made me think earlier this week I was at the bar and, you know, it's a little busy, but I'm trying to get the bartender's attention because I had just got there. I'm ready to order. I already looked over and I'm trying to get her attention and she's just like not seeing me. And then a different bartender comes over and she's like, hey, she helping you out? And I'm like, well, no. And then I like gave her my order and then she got my drink. And then the other bartender came by and it's like, oh, what did you decide to get? Whatever. Like we talked a little bit and I was like, was that awkward? Like that I just didn't order from her and she was the one like taking care of me?
But she never went up to you.
No, so this bartender came up to me, gave me the menu, like, you know, let me know.
I'll be right back.
Yeah,
or
let me
like
know
that.
when you're ready to order. And
then you ordered with the other one.
Yeah. I wouldn't have thought it was weird until she came back over and then started talking to me, and then it's like
you were still her customer.
Yeah, but I got served by the other bartender.
I think just because it's a bar, it's less weird.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying though, because it's like, especially if it was like, was it super busy popping, or she was just like chatting someone else up? No,
I was kind of busy, so she was kind of like up and down the bar.
Oh no, I would say that's probably fine then. I feel like I don't know how tips work at the bar.
I think it's all communal anyways.
Like split
they
at
have
the end of the night?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, then in that sense, it's for efficiency's sake.
Yeah.
They just get you your drink and go from there.
All right, then that don't feel as bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because at a restaurant, I would never call a different server like, hey, I'm still waiting on my server. Can you take my order?
All right, well, since you're talking about situations like that, I have another one that I did this last week as well. So I went to Chipotle, and as I was saying offline, one of the big things I like about Chipotle, and most of the reason I go to Chipotle, is because they'll have little challenges, and if you complete the challenge, they'll give you a badge. And I love the badges. Maybe it's the Pokemon trainer in me, but I just like looking at them sometimes. And so I had this one for order barbacoa, and you'll get this badge. So I go to my local Chipotle. I walk in line. I'm unknowing, of course. And so I start my order. What would you like? I'm like, all right, let me get a bowl. Can I get a tortilla on the side? So she's doing all that stuff. What kind of rice do you want? Can I get both rices, please? What kind of beans do you want? Let me get both beans, extra beans. So she's loading this. And this is like the best Chipotle server because normally they'll do one half of the bowl pinto, one half of the bowl black beans. She did them horizontal. And I was like, my mind was blown. We get over. She's like, all right, what kind of... let me get some fajita veggies. Okay. Da-da-da. What kind of protein do you want? And I look down and there's no barbacoa. And I'm like, you guys have barbacoa? Like, no, I think we're all out. But the chicken's real good today. And I was like, oh.
You're like, I wanted the badge.
I wanted the barbacoa. I want the badge. I think I literally said out loud, I was like, I'm trying to do a challenge in the app that asks for the barbacoa. And I don't think she got that either. And then the manager just happened to be walking by. She's like, we don't have any barbacoa in the house, do we? She's like, nope, we're all out. And so I just stood there for like 30 seconds, like, what do I do? And then I was like, I really wanted the barbacoa. I think I'm going to go to another location. And I just walked out.
David.
Is that allowed?
That is allowed. You haven't paid for the food yet.
I mean,
and I was like, I felt so bad because she doubled my beans up. She was doing the whole thing. And I was like, after I thought, I was like, maybe I should have just bought the beans and the rice. But I panicked and I was like, I don't know what to do. And so I just left. And I did end up going to a different Chipotle later that day. Now that I think about it, they never sent me the badge, so I'm gonna have to make some calls.
Did you scan your app?
I did.
So all of that for you to not even get the badge.
And because of that, I'm scared to go back to the Chipotle, like the more convenient Chipotle. And so
the one you live right across the street from.
And so I've been making an effort. I've been going out of my way.
Was it the last day to get that badge?
Yeah. It was corny.
Because I was like, why wouldn't you just finish the bowl and get it a different day? But
yeah, no, it was poor timing on my part. And it was lunch, so I was like, I don't want to pay for it for lunch, even if it was just chicken or whatever, and then get it for because I'm getting this badge.
Right.
Or so I thought.
You should have been like, okay, let me get the steak, but then can you charge it through as barbacoa?
I thought about that too.
My badge.
But that barbacoa sounded so good.
Oh my!
And even though I didn't get the badge yet, that barbacoa was so dang good.
If you're the worker, like,
what do you do, right?
You mean you can't do anything? Like, you just be like, yeah, I get it. We didn't have what you wanted. But I'd be so salty.
And I was like, I had never seen her there before. So I think she was newer too. So the hand was heavy. So she made most of the bowl was already taken up by just the rice and the beans. So I just felt, I was like, do they eat that? And
they
so I
definitely just throw it away.
Toss it. And I was like,
as soon as you walked out, they probably threw that in the trash.
Like, they slam dunked it.
Yeah,
in
they
the trash.
launched that in
and
the
they were
trash.
like, damn that guy to hell. And so I literally like, I kid you not, I was standing in that line for like 2 minutes, just like
what do I do?
What do I do? And then I just like looked at her. I think she knew what was going on because she wouldn't even look me in the eyes. And I was like, I'm sorry. I think I'm gonna go now. It's like, I'm gonna go to another location.
Did
and
they
I just
say anything, or you walked out too
I
fast?
just walked out. No, I walked out, I think slower because I was ashamed. And I was like, maybe they'll stop me and be like, buddy.
Sure.
Pay, if they would have said pay for the beans, I would have been like, all right, I'll buy the beans. But
they intimidate you to buy the beans.
like, you're buying this rice bowl, buddy.
And you're getting chips and guac with that.
Do I need queso too? They're like, yes. And so, yeah. Was that allowed? I mean, yeah, it's allowed. They didn't stop me, but...
Luna, back. She's going to step on the laptop.
She's going to try to crawl over the laptops.
No. Why is she being so crazy?
I don't know.
She wants her pops.
What? Do you want to go outside? Outside? Yeah? Or should we have Bella take her out?
Luna's
She
like,
looks right at Bella like,
Luna's like,
yeah,
yes.
take me out.
You're fine with that, Bella.
With my grimace slides.
Your workwear.
Yeah, I literally got in my car to go to work and I looked at my feet. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm still wearing these. Luckily, I realized before I drove away.
Was that before or after you wore them to yoga?
After.
Bro, them sweaty old grimace slides.
It's not like I was wearing them during class.
What, you don't yoga in your Crocs?
No.
I was gonna say Yeah, it probably was a little awkward in the moment, especially because the girl was being extra nice.
I felt so bad, man.
But I don't think you should feel bad going back now. For now, it's probably just a funny story now for her. Like, oh, you're the guy that wanted that barbacoa real bad.
You're barbacoa boy.
If anything, just make sure the meat you want is there before you start ordering.
Yeah, and it was like pretty empty, so I could have like peeked over, but I was just so.
Well, you don't expect them to be out, you know.
Yeah, and maybe everyone wanted that badge that day, and so everyone got the barbacoa.
Maybe.
Yeah, it is odd that they were out because normally when they're out, they're like, oh, we got another batch coming in 5 minutes.
Exactly, and so I was like, or I know they have that station behind where they do the takeout, and sometimes they'll have some there. And
Yeah.
some. But the manager was like, nope, we're all out.
So was this towards the end of the day? No, you said it was lunch.
It was like,
how could they be out?
It was like 3 p.m.
That's on them, honestly.
Yeah.
Customer is always right.
Imagine if I would have asked, can you mix the beans and the rice for me? And she's just over there.
Why would she use her hands?
Right.
They don't use their hands when you tell them to mix it?
No.
They don't use their bare hands when you ask them to mix your bowl for you?
Do they do that for you?
What? That's not protocol?
Is that how you
Absolutely
mix your
not.
beans and rice at home?
No, I've actually never asked them to mix it, but I heard people do, and they hate that. I've heard on Reddits that the workers do not like mixing other people's bowls, or they make them shake them.
I would hate to shake it, but if it's just like grabbing a spoon and mixing it, like, okay. I know, like, when I've seen people ask for their burritos to get mixed.
Oh, yeah.
Makes
I guess that one
sense.
makes a little more sense. You hate when you bite in, it's all sour cream.
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't make her mix it. I know what you're saying, and I could go back, but I'm going to give it a month.
A month? I feel like, how often do you go to Chipotle?
Like once a week at least.
You're going to go a whole month going to a different location?
Mm-hmm.
You're basically giving up that specific Chipotle for Lent.
Honestly, you're right.
So I just opened up my Chipotle app and it says, congratulations, 2 achievements earned. And I haven't even gone to Chipotle in a while. The first one, you've unlocked Doppelganger badge. You and another Chipotle fan ordered the exact same entree. This is on December 5th, 2023. You don't have that
like
one?
all day?
You don't got that one?
Or like back to back? I don't have that one. That one's rare as hell.
Ooh,
What the hell?
I got that one. And then my second one.
What?
My second one is just the Chipotle anniversary one for 5 years.
All right, let me go through my apps. Dude, that's corny as hell. Well, if you think about it, no one's ever going to order my order. You've seen the bowls that I get, dude. No one's ever going to be like, both beans, extra beans.
Just get
all the salsas, please.
Just get a very generic order.
I guess it is a cute little library where they put your badges.
Damn, you only got 8, corny.
Yeah, I only have 8 because I don't collect these badges. I don't have. These are the only ones I got in 2023.
That's how they suck you in, David.
They slurped me up, bro.
Do you have the founding member badge?
I got that like 4 times, 2 times.
You can't get it.
What does that X by 2 mean?
But how do you get it twice?
I think it's just if you do it on the anniversary. Look, 2021, I got
They're
5.
showing off their badges.
I got a good amount for. God
my
damn,
gosh.
for 2022, hella. 23, damn, I kind of slowed down. And then 24. I did go on the leap day. It was extra day. Got a little free extra guac. They're so cute.
I did see that, but I didn't go.
Remember the one I was telling you about last
dinner.
time? National Tortilla Chip Day. I didn't even have to go in. I just had to redeem it in the rewards. I really like this one. It looks like a pyramid of cute little chips.
David just scrolled through his rewards, and it's like a very long scroll.
Yeah, you have to take a screen recording so we can put it on the Instagram. That's crazy, David.
So
I'm just happy I have a badge you don't have.
I'm so pissed. That one seems so cool. I think I counted 37 icon badges, and some of them are ×2. I have damn near 40 badges.
The ×2's not as exciting.
Yeah, no. I'd rather just give me another. Like, look at this little cheese lovers day. Freaking cute. I think I'm ready to fight the Elite Four
Oh my
after all
gosh.
these badges. The quesadilla master.
All right, stop reminiscing on all your Chipotle badges.
You sound like Luna over there. What are you doing?
What's the biggest Chipotle order you ever gotten? Like for yourself?
It's probably his standard Chipotle order.
Yeah.
Double rice, double beans, both rice.
Fajita veggies. Light on the veggies because I'm watching my weight.
Okay.
All the salsas,
Oh my
including the corn, sour cream on the side, cheese, and lettuce.
Damn. And you get a bowl every time?
I get a bowl and a tortilla on the side.
God damn.
And then I get a side of hot salsa and a side of chips. But that's
what?
And how many meats? What meats do you get, or how many?
Mostly chicken. Only one.
You don't do double.
I don't do unless I redeem the double protein reward. And I was gonna do it at the barbacoa the other day, but since I went to a different location, I think that lady had the hots for me or something. She gave me hella meat, so I didn't even ask for double. I was like, "That's a lot of barbacoa." Yeah, they don't charge you. They don't charge you extra for beans. They don't charge you extra for rice. Get as much for that as you can. The real blasphemy, I think, was let me clear there. This lasts me 2, if not 3 meals. 3 meals if I stretch it.
Oh, but you won't eat it in one sitting?
Oh no, hell no.
That's what I meant. Like,
No, I couldn't do that.
That
I
would be
purposely order it to be lunch the next day.
gotcha.
So what I do is I'll eat the whole tortilla. I'll like rip it and pick at it, and then most of the chip, like maybe I'll have like 3 or 4 chips just to taste them, and I'll save the chips, which I probably should just buy chips fresh because they get kind of stale.
Eh,
But
they're good for a couple of days.
Then I have the rest of my bowl and chips.
Okay, that makes more sense because if you were ordering that every time and eating the entire thing,
That's like your daily intake of
well,
calories.
it's a huge ass order from one person.
And a water cup, of course. I need to stay hydrated.
So you order this once a week, but it's 2 meals per week.
Yeah, I guess when you put it like that, yeah. And if the badge calls for it,
another visit.
unfortunately. Yesterday, I ate sofritas because I had leftover from Thursday. I thought ahead. I was like, if I order chicken, I won't be able to eat it till Saturday. So I bit the bullet and just got sofritas.
Oh, so you could eat it for Friday.
Yeah. They're not bad, but they're not my favorite.
When I worked with my dad and my cousin Roy, I would always ask Roy what he wanted for his order, and he would just tell me what meat he wanted, and then he would say, just say yes to everything else. He's like, if it's not extra, just put it on there. So I'm like, white brown rice, black pinto beans, fajitas, all the salsas, like everything. He's like, if they're not charging, just put it on there.
That's my belief.
White or brown rice? Yes.
But I remember my roommate, he had the worst Chipotle order. My roommate from college,
Mm-hmm.
he would get a burrito with white rice, chicken, sour cream and cheese, and that was it.
I've seen people get that
dude.
order. It's crazy.
And his burrito was always like half the size as the rest of the table. Like,
Oh, yeah, dude. That's like...
you got that little kids meal burrito.
it's like the whitest order. Not even for like a white person, but like literally all the ingredients are white.
Yeah. And if they're feeling adventurous, sometimes they do the tomato salsa. Like, it boggles my mind.
Yeah.
And it's funny when they order that and they're like, oh, let me get some guac. And the guac is the same size as the rest of the bowl. It's like, goodness.
And like, I get it. That's what you like. But for the price you're paying, even back then,
Yeah.
it was not worth it.
It's like, yeah, that $8.95 is the same for you as it is for mine. And I'm getting 2 meals out of it.
And my burrito is twice as big as yours.
Dude, back in the day, I've since converted to bowls because it's way more convenient for reheating purposes. Before I used to order very similarly to my order, if not the same,
But in a burrito.
and it would always tear. So they would always look at me and be like, do you want us to double wrap it? We won't charge you extra. I was like, if you have to.
Yeah, at some point when I was in college, that became my standard. I'm like, can I get a double wrap burrito?
Yeah, it's tough. Dude, you remember back in the day, you'd be like, let me get a quesarito, and they would do it. Did you guys ever get a quesarito?
I heard of it, but I never got it.
So it's like they'd put the tortilla, they'd sprinkle some cheese, and then the other tortilla, put it in the little heater, and then make your burrito. I heard they also hate making that too. I think I don't know if it was here in Columbus or back home. I was like, they're like, what would you like? I'm like, can I get a quesarito? New gen. They were like, what? And I was like, never mind. Let me get a bowl with the tortilla on the side. I just abandoned ship. I was like,
The one time I was like, can I get on the side 1 container of sour cream and 1 container of the red hot sauce? And the guy's like, oh, you want the dragon sauce? I'm like, what? And he's like, never mind.
you shot him down.
And then I
He
like,
could have explained it.
yeah.
Come on.
And then I looked it up, and there was people saying, oh, the dragon sauce is sour cream and the red salsa. I'm like, oh. He's like, he was hyped.
He was so excited, and then you were like, what? He was like, Never mind.
I didn't know what he was talking about.
Right.
Now I know what it is.
You guys got well here. This is an email I got on Monday, so I wonder if it's a corporate thing. It says beef barbacoa quesadilla handshake dragon sauce. Like the Chipotle app acknowledges the dragon sauce, and they're like, yeah, order it with dip into dragon sauce. Hint: tomatillo red salsa plus sour cream for the ultimate kick. The only issue with the quesadilla is that takes up 2 of your sides. It's tough.
I feel that it was just something that someone made,
Like
both the quesarito and the dragon sauce. That they just kind of like, you know what? This is a secret menu item. It's just a thing we communicate now.
For sure.
Like it's definitely not part of their official menu, but they've just embraced it like it's a wide known thing.
Yeah.
Similarly, it's well known that when you ask for a water cup, most people are putting lemonade in there.
Yeah.
And one time I saw like the Chipotle Twitter account tweet something about like putting lemonade in your water cup. And I'm like, they found me out, but I'm gonna still do it.
I used to do it.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Integrity is one of my strongest values now. Nah, I'm just kidding. But I do feel bad. I'm like, it's just a water cup. It's only a water cup's worth of lemonade, but I'm like, let me just get water.
No, I still do it.
I like their ice, so I'll just get hella ice and then just refill the water back home.
Steak and Shake, they have a secret menu item, the 7x7 burger, which is 7 patties and 7 slices of cheese. One time I was there and I ordered it. I'm like, can I get the 7x7? And the girl was like, are you sure you want that? I'm like, yes, that's why I ordered it. I did eat the whole thing in that one sitting.
You know how like people at stores will try to upsell you? She was trying to downsell you.
Right.
She was like, you don't want a 5x5?
That was like Carlos when he ordered the meat mountain at Arby's.
Yeah.
Like, are you sure you want that? Nobody's ordered it in 2 years.
It is a big burger, but it's $7.77, which is probably a better price than if you actually ask for additional patties.
Right. That's
what?
crazy.
Is that still the price now?
It's a secret menu item, so I don't know if like they'll do it everywhere.
That's crazy.
They also have mac and cheese, but it's not on their normal menu, so I guess it's a secret menu item. But I always get it. I think it's just like Kraft box mac and cheese, but it's so good.
In their presentation.
Mm-hmm. So I always get that when I go to. I haven't been to Steak and Shake in years, but I always get the mac and cheese when I do go.
Almost stopped to the drive-thru the other day. I was in actually like right around what is it called? Grove City.
Yeah.
Where the Applebee's was.
Yeah.
Grove City.
I was in that Walmart Plaza, and I was leaving, and I saw the Steak and Shake, and there was a couple cars there. I was like, oh, because you never know. Nowadays, I feel like all the Steak and Shakes are closed.
Right.
But this one had cars. I was like, shoot, I'm gonna have to stop.
I feel like a lot of them are just drive-thrus now.
Yeah, that's so sad, man. That was a place to be after the movies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the last one I went to was just a drive-through as well. Or like you could go inside to order, but they had like blocked off all the seating area. It was just like a window to order at.
That's so sad. I feel like that was the whole charm of the Steak and Shake. Was like it's
like a diner vibe.
Yeah, like old timey. Get your shake, share it with Boo.
I just feel like they're understaffed. They never have enough people waiting at tables.
It's tough out there after the pandemic.
Yeah, they didn't recover well after the pandemic.
I'm just glad they're still out there kicking. Maybe one day I'll go get me a little mint chip smoothie shake.
I remember my coworker was talking about Steak and Shake, and he's like telling me how he remembers when they first came to Columbus and they were so clean, like everything was white, and now he goes in there and everything's just kind of greasy. And
yeah, I feel like I could see that being the establishment that was like Chick-fil-A. You know, like Chick-fil-A is very strong cultured.
Yeah,
I could see Steak and Shake when they first opened, like in SpongeBob when they opened that crusty old sports bar. You know, like very clean cut. You wear the funny hats, take people's orders. But it doesn't sell, apparently. It doesn't sell.
Do you think you could eat a whole large pizza by yourself in one sitting?
No, I know I couldn't.
I could. I would hate myself. And I would probably be on the toilet for a long time after that. But I think I could. Are we talking like Domino's large?
Domino's large.
Yeah. I was like, we talking Hound Dogs large?
No, I was saying, we can't do a whole nother pizza episode.
Not yet. No.
No. It was just that particular setting. 'Cause at my college, there was like a truck stop fast food area or whatever that you could spend your college cash on. And on the weekends, they would get a ton of Domino's pizzas, like pepperoni and cheese. And so you could go there and order a slice, or you could get a whole box. And one time, me and this guy made a bet that I could eat a whole large pizza. And he's like, no way. Like, you can't do that. Like, that's too much for one person. And I don't know why it became an event, but I went over to this guy's dorm with the pizza, and 5 of our other friends were there too, and they were just like cheering me on, like, yeah, let's get this pizza in. So
you're like, guys, this is the first slice.
I ate all 8 slices except the crust, because the crust was the worst part. I'm like, all right, I know if I had ate the crust as I was going through, I'd get filled. And then I like finished the crust, and he couldn't believe it. He's like, no way. He's like, you're about to throw up. I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, do 10 push-ups right now.
Dang.
And I like did 10 push-ups, and my other friends were backing me up like, no. He already ate the pizza.
Right.
Like,
you don't have to prove yourself any other way.
He was trying to set you up for failure.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because that was a stipulation. If I threw up, I would lose the bet.
Did he give you money or something?
He bought me a milkshake.
After the pizza?
No, not
Okay.
A different day?
Yeah, different
Okay.
day.
Okay.
No, I was like, he was definitely trying to set you
I
up for
was
failure.
like, that's not even a prize at that point.
No, the milkshakes that we had at that same store at Worcester, they were so good because they were thick milkshakes.
Mm-hmm.
They were like $3.50.
Ooh.
And yeah, they would last so long. Like, it was, you couldn't slurp it like really quickly just because of how thick it was. So you were at least drinking it for like 20-30 minutes.
I love a good shake.
So it was worth it. So we would get $450 per semester.
Right.
And me and my friend Ben, we would try to budget a way where we could go and get a milkshake every day and have enough money for the whole semester.
Goodness.
So it
Did
was
y'all gain like 50 pounds?
no.
Freshman 50.
Right.
Goodness.
And so it'd be funny because we would do the math, and it's like, oh, like I can only spend $3 a day, and it's like, all right, you got to go like 5 days without spending any money to balance out. And so
just
we would
for a
do
daily
that.
shake.
Yeah.
Yo.
And then when we're like, all right, $3.50 a day, yep, we're going to get milkshakes. Now, freshman year, like, I don't know if that was your guys' experience, but I had so much free time, and you don't realize it until you leave your freshman year, and you'll like tell the freshmen coming in, you got so much free time, just do whatever you want right now.
Heck yeah.
That's how I felt about all of college. Like, all of college, you have so much free time, and then as you leave and start working, you're like,
Take me
I took
back.
it for granted.
Yeah.
I took it all for granted.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel that all of college is a lot of free time, but freshman year I felt like I had the most, since the classes weren't as hard and I didn't have to study as much.
Right. Everything's an intro class. Everything's like
Speak for yourself. I took calculus for engineers my
Oof.
freshman year, and that was like one
that's
of the
rough.
hardest classes.
dude, I took like a global development class, and now that I think about it, it was the worst grade I had gotten throughout like my academic career. And it was one of those, what were we talking about earlier where, I guess Bella was saying something about her classes where like she thought she didn't do so hot on a thing, but she did ended up doing really well. And the opposite was true for this class for me. It was 4 modules, 4 different professors, and so they would each grade it differently. First one, I think I got like a B- on the test, and I was like, "Oh, that's rough, man." Like, oh, freshman year, it was first semester too. I was like, "All right, well, next module is mine for sure," and it was like a little carried over, but it was like a whole new different thing. Next one, I got like maybe first one I got a B, second time I got like a B-, and then the third module I left the test. I was like, holy smokes, things are turning around. I'm on top of the world. I think I left with time to spare. I come back and I think I got like a freaking, I might have gotten like a D+ or like a C- on the test. I was like so heartbroken.
That's the worst
I was like,
feeling.
I thought I was on a high. So obviously going into the last test, I was so scared. But this was the nicest professor. He was so cool. Like, it was more like your experience as opposed to like tying it to readings and stuff. I got an A+ in that.
Nice.
That was the only thing that saved me. And I ended up getting like a B- in the whole course, obviously,
Alright.
because the first 3 tests were so bad. But I just remember that day. Like, I will never forget the day leaving. Like, oh, wow, I feel so good. Like, damn, I'm on top of the world. Things are turning around. And I have another test to spare. And then ate shit.
Did you not have at the time? Was there not calculus for business?
There was, but I wasn't in the business school. I went to Ohio State undecided. And the only thing I had decided on was I'm not doing business because I did Future Business Leaders of America in high school. And I was like, we did presentations the whole time and I hate presentations. So I was like, I'm not going to business school. But as I was undecided, I was like, well, I don't really want to do any of these other majors. Like, I don't want to do anything science related or like English or anything. So then at the end of my freshman year, I was like, okay, I'll go into the business school. And I was like, dang, I could have taken calculus for business students instead of calculus for engineers.
Yeah, because calculus for engineers, that seems rough.
Yeah,
It is rough.
It's crazy.
The only good thing is that 2 of my friends from freshman year, like from my close friend group, were also in that class. So like sometimes we'd study together, but they were both smarter than me in that class. So I think one of them got an A, one of them got an A-, and I got a B+. And I was like, shoot, I'm happy with the B+, because
Right.
I think
This
the
is
first test I took, I got a D+ or like a C-.
Seeing that, like, never seeing that and then seeing that is like so
that was
bad.
like the worst grade I've ever gotten. And then the next test, I think I got like a C+. I was like, okay, it's a little better.
It's like progress.
And the last test, I think I got a B+. But then I think there was also homework, and the class was definitely curved.
Oh yeah, I feel like all those hard math classes in science.
Yeah,
They
so
have
that's,
to.
I was like, ended up with a B+, and I was like, that's fine by me. And that was one of 2 B's that I got in college. All the rest of my grades were A's.
Right.
So the other B+ that I got, this is completely my fault. It was the easiest class. It's chocolate science that you take online. I took it my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the work is online, and I just forgot that I was enrolled in that class. So I didn't do like one. There was only 3 sections, and I didn't do one of the sections, and I didn't realize until like the deadline had passed.
Uh-huh.
So I emailed the professor like, I'm so sorry, can I please do this and like get any credit for it? And they're like, sure, you can do it, but we'll only give you half credit. So it's like, okay. So I did all the homework and quizzes and stuff, and like, you get 100% on everything, but then you only get half the credit. So I ended up with a B+.
Dang.
And I
It's
was
one
like,
of my recurring like nightmares.
Yeah.
yeah.
Is I'm enrolled in school, and for whatever reason, it's always a math class. I show up to my math class, and then this teacher starts talking. I'm like, shit, I don't remember what we talked about last week. I don't have my notes from last week or my homework, and she's gonna assign homework for next week.
Dude, yeah, I'll get that for high school, but it's like a English class, but it'll be like college level worth of English. So I'm already like, what the heck's going on? And it's like in the dream, I know for sure I've missed like 4 weeks of class for some reason. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah. So
Wait, so how did it work? Like, what module did you miss? Was it the first one and you forgot, or it was like halfway through the year?
I think it was like the second one. Because I knew I was in the class. I guess I just didn't know when the deadlines were.
Oh.
So then I was like, oh, let me log into the portal and check. And I logged in like on a Monday, and the deadline had been the previous Friday.
Shit. Like, so, right, so you couldn't even just like the day of get as much credit
Right,
as,
no, yeah. So I emailed the professor immediately, and I think I did all the work, and I was like, please, any credit would be fine. Because,
Yeah, if zero
not
credit, it
a
would have
zero,
been worse.
I would have gotten like a 66% on the class.
That's the worst when you're thinking, I'm gonna check the deadline when this is due, and then you realize, it's passed.
been due.
Yeah. So it was rough.
Yeah, I left high school telling myself, I'm never taking a math class ever again. I'm done with that shit. And so I took the minimum required math class for my major, for economics, and it was so easy. Like, it was, I'm kind of regret taking that class because of how easy it was.
Uh-huh.
Because it was like basic stats, like very basic, and so you're like learning like mean, median, and mode, and how to like calculate a line. And I never studied because I already had taken these math courses through high school. It was crazy because there was people in that class struggling, and I'm like, that's a little insane to me that you're struggling in this easy ass math class.
And they're like a math major or something.
No, they're not math major. No one in that class is math major.
Right.
There's like their minimum requirement. I'm like, you're struggling in this baby ass math class.
Some people aren't good at math.
Yeah. And actually, because that class was so easy, I decided to take calculus the next semester, and I became a math minor. So that definitely helped my freshman year, because calculus sophomore year was definitely rough, but no, not freshman year. It was chill.
Got the job done.
Yeah. So me and Ben, we would, along with the milkshakes, we would play pool like every day. Some dorms had pool tables, and so we would just change which dorm we would go to. So we would go play pool at one dorm. We'd play like 5 games, and then we would go get a milkshake.
Oh my god.
To refuel, obviously.
Because normally it was like I would win a game, then he would win a game, and it was always 2 versus 2. And then we're like, we got to do the tiebreaker. It was silly, but it was like funny because sometimes his girlfriend would come and watch, and then on the tiebreaker, we would be like, all right, if you lose, like, you got to give me your girlfriend. And his girlfriend's like, you better not lose.
Actually, I had 2 girlfriends. Yeah, I went into college with that mindset of I never want to take a math class again, and I never took a math class again. My major didn't require any, and I was like, really? But only if you wanted a business minor, and I should have gotten a business minor, but I didn't. So I was like, I don't do math. Trigonometry at Lakeland really screwed me up.
Really?
Like, I still got a good passing grade. I think they curved it because it was hard. And the professor was really nice. Cool guy. But for some reason, triangles, man. The triangles were tough for me.
Yeah, I feel like I had a similar experience. So Lakeland is the local community college.
Yeah.
But I took trigonometry there, and it was like pretty tough. I think I still got an A, don't worry. But after that, and after seeing Oscar do calculus at Lakeland, I was like, I can't do calculus here. It might mess up my perfect grades in like high school.
Right.
So I ended up taking calculus at the high school. It was AP Calc, but it was like the teacher was the nicest, but also easiest teacher ever. So it wasn't super challenging. But it did not prepare me for calculus for engineers at Ohio State.
No, see, like, I didn't take a college math class, but I had friends who were taking like calculus that first semester, or even they'd be like, oh, I don't have to take calculus. I took calculus, AP Calculus BC,
Right.
which is like the more advanced one. And they're like, oh, I got a 5. I'm like, whoa, look at you, like, smart. And I was talking about all the stuff that I knew of calculus. Come to find out, that's like a year's worth of like what I knew in calculus is like what they covered in like the first 2 months of their like school year. That BC class, it was bad.
I think that's the rough part about those math classes is you're learning something new every day, and you just got to build off of that. Just like what we did last week, you got to know that to do this.
And if you follow along the way, you have to be at office hours. You have to like figure it out, or else you're gonna be lost for the rest of the semester.
Did you say you had a topic for today?
No, I have a topic, but it's not for today. I want Marisol to be here for it. So
Perspective.
I was looking through my old topics though, and I had one that is one of my pet peeves. Let me see if I have anything else. Okay. So when you are making plans and you're like inviting people, one of my biggest pet peeves is someone asks, before answering yes or no, they ask who all is going to be there. And I'm like, you either want to hang out with me or you don't. It doesn't matter who all is going to be there. Do you want to come? Yes or no? What do you guys think about that?
Unless you're friends with 2 people that actively don't like each other, it's a very unnecessary question.
Agreed. And that would be a different scenario. But I feel like everyone I hang out with knows everyone else that I hang out with. So there's
pretty chill.
You guys already know each other. We hang out all the time. Why do you care who all is going to be there?
Yeah, because I feel like in high school and in college, it was a very you just say it to see who's there. Because I just feel like at that time you know more people and the other people know more people and you never know who's going to be there. But now, yeah, it's you either want to go hang out with the person and have a good time because like we're adults now. Like you should be able to entertain yourself some way in the social setting.
Yeah, I guess I can see why some people would ask, especially if they're more on like the fringe of that friend group. I mean, it's like kind of tough to say for us because a lot of our friends are like cousins, but then also just like friends that we've had for years since high school.
Exactly. I don't have any fringe friends.
Right. But I'm like thinking of it in like high school when it's like, you know, you're friends with everybody. I would only ask that in the context of like, also, I always had crushes on Sam's friends. I've like realized, so I was like, do I gotta dress up for this? Do I gotta look good for my girl who doesn't know that's my girl, but she's gonna be my girl after I dress good today and we hang out? Or can I be a bum? But in the situation you're probably highlighting, I can see why it's annoying. I don't think I would ever ask. I can't have anyone come to mind where if I asked that and you said this person, I'd be like, oh, I actually don't want to go.
Right.
Maybe if it was for a specific event, like if it was a travel plan.
Right. And like travel plans, I would say like
these people are
this
going.
group of people are planning on going. Do you want to join in? But if I'm like,
we're getting food.
Hey, do you want to come over and for a game night?
Yeah.
And then you say who's all going to be there. I'm like, do you want to come play games or not? I don't want you to come anymore, actually. Never mind.
Right, because it's like...
It's canceled.
It's canceled for you.
They go, I just want to know if we're playing Catan expansion pack or Catan regular.
If you say what games are there going to be, that's a better question. If you say who's all going to be there, I'm like, don't even come anymore.
Maybe they're like, oh, I need to know if David was there because I don't want to bring something with cream, milk, cheese.
Because we know he's not going to control himself and he's going to diarrhea all over the Catan board.
No. Then in that case, you say, yes, I'd love to go. Is David going to be there? Or like...
That seems so much more targeted.
Should I bring cheese or no?
Yes, I'd be happy to come. I'm bringing this cheese board. Will David have lactate? No. Yeah, I guess especially... It's never just like, oh, we're just hanging out. It's always like, oh, we're going to the movies. Oh, we're doing game night. Like, there's always going to be something.
Right.
Even if in your head, whoever's there that you don't want to be there, you could focus on something else.
Exactly.
But thankfully, I don't think there's anyone like that within our friend group.
There's not a ton of like conflict within my friends. So I'm like... And it's also like I hang out with the same people every single weekend. So I'm like, who new do you think is going to be there?
Who would show up?
It's going to be David, Oscar, Marisol that's here. What do you mean?
Bella's like, I'm not coming. Imagine we text Bella, you want to come to the restaurant today? Who's all going to be there?
You're like, never mind, you can't come anymore.
I think one other thing kind of in the same topic that bothers me is when you message a group of people, whether you individually or like a group or in like a group chat, and you're like, hey, I got this event coming up. If you guys want to come, this is the time and place, let me know. And then there's always like people that wait until the day before or the day of, and they're like, oh, I'm not going to be able to make it because of XYZ. And sometimes like those excuses seem kind of made up, especially because you waited in the last minute to say it.
Like,
I would rather you at the very beginning be like, hey, I don't think I'm going to make it. Even if you don't want to go, just say that rather than...
Yeah, I don't even need an excuse to say, no, I can't make it. And I'll be like, all good. I'm not going to probe and be like, why? What are you doing?
Right. Where are we at?
Because it makes those people seem even more flaky because they do it every single time. And it's like, maybe you're trying to be nice and not hurt the other person's feelings, but then you look worse.
Yeah. And they get tired of it, I feel like.
And I get irritated.
And it's like, I'm not even going to message you anymore because I know you're not going to show up.
Yeah, I definitely prefer to just like let me know as soon as possible. Even if it's right away, you know you don't want to go, then I can like tailor the plans better.
Right.
Or like the party size.
Yeah, or in that situation, like if you never responded to me, I already assume you're not coming.
Right, there's no need to say it.
There's no need, to send another message to explicitly say, oh, it's the day of and I'm not going. Like, I figured, buddy, thanks.
Yeah. It's like, oh, you reply, oh, thank goodness I didn't have a plate set out for you. My bad.
Because I know there's people that you'll tell them something weeks in advance, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm down to do it," and then they flake at the last minute.
But that's different. I would say maybe they had a genuine thing come up. I don't know, but at least they had an answer up front.
Like when it's very last minute, like update.
But they said yes in the beginning.
Because I can see people that will say yes, just maybe because they have the intention of going, but.
I guess
or
it
so you don't
depends.
probe.
I guess it depends if they have a history of saying yes and then not going. Yeah. But if someone says yes and then last minute they can't go, usually it's because like something genuinely came up. But if you know you're gonna say no later on, just say no at the beginning.
Yeah, I guess that's a better way to put it. It's like more people that have done that, and then you kind of know that they're a little more flaky. Like,
yeah, but I feel like most people wouldn't say yes up front. If anything, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm not sure yet. I'll let you know."
See, and that's what honestly,
that's more understandable.
I would honestly prefer people to say that rather than say yes and then cancel later.
Yeah,
well, I don't think it's common for people to say yes and then cancel later, I guess. That's my point. I think it's more common for people to not say anything or to say, I don't know, I'll let you know.
Yeah, that's my go-to.
It is your go-to. I don't like that, actually. I'd rather you say no.
I don't know. I've experienced both. Like, people, like, I like when they say, I might come, I'll let you know. Even if you know they're going to say no, like, I'd rather they at that. But I know of people that will say, yeah, I'm definitely down. And then...
like the most excited one.
Yeah, and then right the day before, they're like, oh, I can't make it because of this.
It's always tough, too, when it's like they haven't said anything. And then people are texting in the group chat like, oh, hey, who's doing rides? Like, da-da-da-da. And then in the middle of that conversation, it's like, oh, hey, guys, just so you know, I can't come. And it's like, oh.
Yeah, and I guess that's another way... because if like they haven't said anything and then they're like last minute, oh, I can't make it. Yeah, I understand there's something going on. But when you see the conversation, I have seen people where like they just don't say nothing and then they last minute.
Like they probably didn't think about it until the group chat was active again. It's like, oh shit, I can't go.
Yeah. I don't know.
Basically, only say yes if you have the true intention of going. And if you don't, just say no. And if you're not sure, say... don't count me in for now, but if I change my mind later, I'll let you know. Yes. I'd rather that. I don't want you to be wishy-washy.
Yeah.
Because then I'm going to be following up like, do you know yet? And then you're like, no, I don't know yet. I'm like, when are you going to know?
I think that's a important skill to have is knowing how to say no in any context.
True.
Wrap it up. Bella?
Any thoughts? Any parting thoughts?
Any last topics?
No. I don't have anything to say.
How many classes are you failing?
0.
She's excelling over here.
I have all A's right now.
Okay.
Nerd.
Can never win. You're either a failing loser or a winning nerd.
Have you declared your...
bankruptcy?
Like, declared your business major yet?
No, I don't think I could do that right now. I think I'll do it later.
Okay.
Maybe like at the beginning of sophomore year.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. There's deadlines.
Okay. Just don't lose sight of that. Alrighty, well, Bella, you can wrap it up for us.
Well, this has been Eating Good. Thank you for listening. Make sure to follow us on the Instagram. Leave a like, comment.
At Eating Good Pod. Leave us a voicemail.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.